Y'all are about to see a first-hand look at my first sponsor of the season.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm excited. Okay, wait, hold on.
Wait, can you add it if it's... Okay, first of all, look how...
Cute the packaging is.
Anyway, so here's their little card and the care. Our jewelry requires a little care on your part to ensure it stays as beautiful as you are. Remove it when swimming, washing, handling chemicals, and for rugged activities. But keep it on while making love, dancing, and getting sunburned. For more, visit livingjewelry.com/care. Anyway, so I don't know if it's like straight like actual gold or not, but it's gorgeous. Hold on, I'm actually gonna use this to cover my address. Okay. Look, first of all, is this cute? I took it out already, so sorry. But look at this. It is so pretty. With my hairy armpit in the background.
It's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. Okay.
Wait, with a shirt like this and my baseball cap, I feel like... But it looks cute with like daintier clothes. Should I just put on what I was wearing yesterday?
Funny.
Are you hot? I'm kind of hot. Hold
on. Wait, are we gonna do this?
Yes, we are.
Whenever I find out.
Do you mind if I turn the temperature down?
Okay, whenever I find out how to post on podcasts, we will post a podcast and it will be called maybe Smart and Single, because that was our idea. Or that was Alyssa's idea for us, our podcast. And yeah. And also,
how do I fucking
look at...
I don't know how to turn it down.
Anyways, look at my X.
Cool.
I got an X on my hand.
I figured it out.
I got an X on my hand.
So, today's topic is... What are you going to talk about?
Anything. What's been, on your mind recently?
Let's see. We can, because you just did this, we can talk about college and changing and adjusting to changes, because Natalie is not only going to a new school for her senior year of high school, but also looking at colleges. So she just went to
a cheer clinic at Texas State, and
we love Texas
really
State.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yes, it was really fun, and the cheerleader was so nice. And I forgot to take a picture with one of the girls, but I did get cute pictures. So
you should DM her. DM her, be like, hey, sorry, I just realized that we forgot to take a picture.
If I can find
Next
her.
time I'm in San Marcos, let's meet up. That's how you do it.
If I can find her.
So, how are you in the situations where you like don't know? Wait, has that have 1,000 likes already?
No.
Oh. For you, how are you in new situations?
It depends on what it is. Like, meeting new people, I'd say I'm really like optimistic and like friendly and out there, just because
we're sisters, by the way.
Yes, we're sisters. You can tell. I'm really like, I'm just open to people, but whenever it like comes to like keeping like, close relationships with them, I always like have these moments where I just like fall off and like don't talk to anybody for like 2 weeks, and then I come back. But yeah,
whenever she says that, she doesn't mean it as in like she forgets to talk to them. She just means fall off of social media.
Yeah,
for a while.
Yeah.
And not warn anybody as well. So sometimes I'm like,
I did warn people one time.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you warn somebody, nobody's gonna be like, oh, we're gonna miss her and then see her in 2. No one's gonna care. So anyway, hold on, can we turn this more? For dimension, we'll have this throw in the back. Cute. Anyways, so
but I do get like with girls, it's so easy to talk to them because I am a girl. But I feel like with boys, it's very awkward for me. Like I'll say something, and then if they say something back, I'll be like, yeah. And it's just like, it's bad. Like, I don't mean to be awkward. It's just like, I'm uncomfortable. And I don't know why.
I don't know why either. I love talking to the guys. It's
I'm scared
the easiest thing in the world for me. Like, I get along with guys typically before I get along with girls, depending on the guys. Like, if they're like regular, extroverted, cool, chill guys, I'm like, okay, cool. But if they're like girls, I'm like, I cannot talk with you. So,
I'm like kind of the opposite. Like I'll get along with like introverted guys more than extroverted guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, I love the little headband.
Hi. Like Junior, do you remember Junior, Miss Anita's son?
Who?
Junior, Miss Anita's son?
Junior year.
Miss Anita's son.
Miss Anita's son?
Yeah, Miss Anita's son.
Oh.
Yeah, I get along with him.
From junior year?
No, Junior, Anthony.
No.
Oh my gosh. Cut it out. Anyways, I think I'm really optimistic. I'm like an optimistic person, so I take on new challenges very, I don't know, unrealistically. Like I have high hopes for everything. I just always like expect the best or expect the worst. Like this, I don't know. I guess it's not high hopes for everything, but I either like expect the very best or I'm like this is gonna suck.
Yeah, one thing that Dad would say is hope for the best but prepare for the worst.
Oh,
so.
I thought you were talking about you, whatever you told me to beat me up.
Oh yeah, he also did tell Natalie that people would beat her up. What he didn't tell her is that it was me. I still remember that one time where it was something with the charger. Like you were in bed and I was also in the bed.
Oh,
and
you whipped me with the charger. That hurts.
Yeah, no, you did something. I think you like bit my toe or something like that. And I was like, why did you do that? And
so you whipped me with the charger.
Yeah. So I was charging my phone at the time, so I just like bloop bloop. And I just went to go hit her, but she moved and missed. And so I just chased her all the way down to like the living room. And like, y'all know that meme where the girl's like, that was literally Natalie on the opposite side of the couch and with like the most fear in her eyes. She was like, please. And it was the funniest thing.
Why would I bite your toe?
I don't know. You always did weird things though. Do you remember that?
We just changed topics.
You did have a thing. And then
that's a lie.
It's not.
How do you handle new situations?
I like new situations with people. I love them. I was actually talking about this with my friend Courtney earlier today. Mm-hmm. Whenever I typed her name into my phone on Tuesday, I said, "Is this how you spell your name?" And she goes, "That's close, but it's Courtney." I had typed in Caitlin. I just knew it was a C basic white girl name. And I was like, oops.
You should have like put your contact in.
That's what I was going to do. Like, that's literally always my first go-to is like, hey, go ahead and give me your number.
But not this time.
No.
It's bad whenever they like type in their number and like send like on text messages. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Like they'll like put their number on the top and then say, hey. And you're like, shoot, now I need to ask how to spell your name.
I always do, or I'll always just like have them put their number into my phone and then just text them Alyssa Gonzalez.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not I.
But I handle new situations. I feel, I'm like I said, very extroverted. I don't know if I said that actually. Yeah. But I am very extroverted, so I love meeting new people. So we were talking about like college and everything earlier. And I was actually talking about this with my friend Courtney. That's where we got on that topic. I was super excited to go to ACU because I was like, I know literally nobody there. Like, this is gonna be so great, so fun. And so, like, going into there, I was like, I know no one. So I get to know everyone, you know? So it was a lot of fun like that. So, yeah.
Just look at the opportunities.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I am with, like, my new school for senior year, but then I'm also like, I know no one. Mm-hmm. And it's a big school.
No, I knew a few people.
Oh,
and I'm sure some people know you.
People. Oh, why though? Like, what do they know?
You always talk with them, and you went to different schools, so they'll know you from different schools and from different people.
I suppose, I guess. But I only know the cheerleaders, you know? I don't know, like, the people who go there. I know the cheerleaders. The cheerleaders go there, but it's like...
Okay, if you're ever on their story, people from their school are going to see you on their story and just assume whatever that person's like, you're also like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't
know. People will know you.
I suppose. I just want to, like, wear cute outfits, you know? Because I had a uniform for, like,
school's all about.
You know? I had a uniform for years, and it's not the same. Why do I look shorter in this? I'm literally taller than you.
Maybe your legs are longer. Yeah, your legs are longer by a little bit. Are you sitting up straight? Hold on. Wait, it looks like you just got a bigger head than me.
Well, that's because my hair.
No, it looks like you just got a fat head.
No, that's just because my hair.
No, wait, is your head longer? Hold on.
I don't know.
Anyway, my hair is in braids right now because I need to wash it, and I didn't do that. I had hours to do it, and I did not.
I
TikTok.
washed my hair.
What are you looking at me like?
What's a topic we could talk about for a long time?
Jesus.
Yes.
Okay.
Jesus.
What is your favorite Bible verse?
Romans 3:23.
Are you gonna say it?
I was like, should I say it? Okay, should I quote it from the Bible app?
Yeah, but don't read it. It's your favorite. Just go. Just go. Off the brain.
For all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God.
Very nice.
And then I can't even remember the 24th one. I think it's like, and all are justified through faith, or something like that, and all are freely gifted grace, or something like that. But anyways, the second line makes the first line better. I don't know. I love this verse though. It's been my favorite verse for like years, because whenever I first got into the church, I was always scared that people would like judge me.
That's what a lot of people are scared of.
Oh, for everyone has sinned, we've all fall short of God's glorious standard. Oh, what NLT version? Okay. For all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Yes. Okay. Anyways.
And what's the part other?
And all are justified freely by his grace through the redemption that came by Christ Jesus.
Very nice.
Anyways, I was always scared that people would judge me. And there is still a group of people who are very judgmental in the church, because I feel like all churches have, like, you know,
always
a little group.
Anywhere you go, really.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, but that verse kind of just like reminded me that like everybody's done
Your
something
teeth
wrong.
are so white.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, everyone has done something wrong, and there's no reason to judge other people for it.
Yeah, and in the Bible it also says that whenever you sin, like whenever you break one commandment, it's kind of like breaking all the commandments. And I'm pretty sure people have broken at least one or more commandments.
Is it like breaking all the commandments?
It says it in the Bible.
Oh, pull that up.
Oh, right here. It says, "For whoever keeps the whole law and yet stumbles at just one point is guilty of breaking all of it."
And who said that though? Did Jesus say that?
Jesus says that. Jesus.
Why isn't it in red?
Oh, I don't know. I think they only do that for like ESV or something. I don't know. My Bible's not in red. Like my regular Bible isn't in red.
Really?
Yeah. Or here, hold on. Oh, this one
The
is in red.
Beatitudes. See, yeah, it's red because that's what Jesus said.
Okay, well, this is also what you said, or this is what you said. Therefore, anyone who sets aside one of these commandments and teaches others accordingly will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever practices and teaches these commandments will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For, I tell you, okay.
Okay. So before that it says, "Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish, but to fulfill them. For I truly tell you, until heaven and earth disappear, not the smallest letter, not the least stroke of a pen will by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished." So what is the law that he's talking about?
The commandments that were set in place.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Roman law or anything like that?
No, that's
like,
the law.
Okay, okay.
Like not working on
Mhm.
the Sabbath and stuff. And such. And he did address that in one of the parables whenever he healed.
Therefore, whoever sets aside one of the least of these commandments and teaches accordingly to others will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever practices and teaches these commandments will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So that doesn't mean that if you break one, you break all.
It says it in James.
But Jesus didn't say that. Who wrote James?
Yeah.
Hey Google, who wrote the book of James in the Bible? Okay, so it's James's brother. I mean, Jesus' brother James who said that.
Anyways, pretty much the gist of it is that verse helped me because it made me like realize that everybody's done something wrong. Everybody has stuff that they're not proud of, and I don't have to feel like less than for being one of those people. And nobody's perfect, and God didn't come to save everybody who's perfect, because if he did, none of us would be saved, and he wouldn't have needed to come. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Very good, very good.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite Bible verse, thank you for asking.
I was
is-
like, what's your favorite Bible verse also?
Thank you for asking. So, my favorite Bible verse, thank you for asking again. You're
Yeah.
so kind.
Anytime.
Is Matthew like 20 through 24, basically.
The one on your wall.
Yes, the one on my wall at my parents' house. So Matthew 6:21 says, or like the entire verse thing is, do not store your treasures on earth where moths can steal them where moths can eat them, rust can corrode them, and thieves can steal.
Moths steal. Okay, nothing spilled.
But instead, store your treasures in heaven, for where your heart is. Where your treasure is, your treasure will be also. This entire thing. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth where moths and vermin destroy and where thieves break in and steal. But store your treasures in heaven where the moths and vermin do not destroy and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, your heart will be also. This is the eye of the lamp of the body. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eyes are unhealthy, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light within the light within you is darkness, how great is that darkness? Which brings me to Samson. So one of the guys, Nathan, had done a thing over Samson a few weeks ago, and Samson's whole thing is, if y'all notice, like a lot of the verbiage in there, he's talking about like basically like he sees something, he wants it, he gets it. And Samson is a slut. And it was
I wasn't gonna
over
say
and over
all
and over.
that. I wouldn't say all that about him.
What would you say about him?
He was very well introduced to multiple people.
Is that what we're saying now?
I don't want to call someone in the Bible a slut.
David was a slut. I'm doing a sermon on him.
This is disrespectful.
No, these are just people in history that were sluts. Samson, David,
Oh my
Jezebel,
goodness. Oh my goodness. Anyway.
probably Satan. I don't
Probably Satan.
know. Like,
What do you get out of this verse?
oh, well,
What is
I'm
it
so
talking
glad you
about?
asked. So, like, a lot of things growing up were like, oh, well, like, do you have this? Do you do this? You know? So it's like all contingent on, you know, like the things that you have, which has nothing to do with you as a person. And in the Bible, it's talking about whatever you have doesn't actually really matter to me, as in Jesus. And he's like, yeah, pretty much like whatever you have doesn't matter as long as you give me your heart, as long as you understand and know that I am like what's true and what's real and what's good. And you don't base your value and you don't base your worth on those other things.
Yeah.
Then you're good to go.
So it just kind of like it gave you a foundation more.
Yeah, I guess.
That is good.
Mm-hmm.
That is good. I like the song "Build Your Life," which reminds me kind of.
I've never heard that one.
Or "Build My Life," not your life. But I don't know.
Kind of selfish, huh?
Well, bring it up with the author. But yeah, I was thinking a lot about Grace the other day.
How is she?
She's good. She went to cheer camp
Yeah,
recently.
I don't know who Grace is.
Oh, well, I know a Grace too. I was thinking about like Grace because I feel like, well, I've said this a lot, but grace is something that people are scared to teach about. But it is so like, grace like is the gospel. And it's just so, it's a topic that you can't really move around. But often preachers move around it because people will abuse grace. And it is
It's like that tweet. And it's a funny tweet, but it's also like you're missing the entire point where it's like, if Jesus died for your sins and you don't sin, what did he die for? It's not like that. It's like if my parents are paying for my car insurance and I'm just going around wrecking the car over and over again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's I don't know. It's something that I've been thinking about a lot because I feel like we don't do a good enough job explaining grace. We just say like half of it. We're like, oh yeah, Jesus died and he gave us something that we didn't deserve, and that's grace. And what grace is just like, well, giving something that you don't deserve pretty much. And that's what Jesus gives us. He forgives us every time we sin, every time we do this, you're automatically forgiven, and that is great to know. And then it's like the end. And it's like, well, you're not explaining it in full, because I feel like if you explain it in full and people really understand, then
Pop off. Explain it in full.
Oh, me explain it in full?
Yes.
Gosh, dang. I was just thinking about this the other day. I didn't have a whole sermon prepared.
This is perfect.
I don't know. Okay. So in the Bible, there is, Jesus gives this example of a man, and he's like rich. Okay, I think it might be a king, but I should look for it. But one of his servants is in debt. And he's like, you need to pay me back, or else, like, all this stuff.
Yes.
And then he's like crying. He's like, please, please, please forgive me. And the guy's like, fine, you're forgiven. Go away. and then the guy finds another guy. I'm sorry. I literally read this yesterday. And he's in debt to him now. And he's like, you need to pay me back. You need to do all this. And he's like, okay, no. Like, can you just forgive me? Like, he forgave you. Like, please, pretty please. And he's like, no, because I'm poor too. I mean, that's not exactly what he says, but he's like, no, you're not. And then somebody sees this, and they tell the king, and they're like, he's not forgiving him, but you forgave him. Like, this isn't adding up. And
wait, what?
Like,
you gotta say like names of this or something, because
I know.
you're not forgiving him, but you forgave him.
Okay, let me just find it so I can read it.
Bada bing, bada boom. Rick, man. Rick rolling them.
I can't type.
Poor? Poor? Poor.
I don't know. Matthew 18.
The book of Matthew is definitely my favorite book of the Bible.
Mine's Luke. Oh, well, not my favorite. I love Romans too. I love Romans as well.
I had a professor at ACU, Professor Shesby. Love her. She, what's it called? She loves like the Gospels, and I really wanted to get her a shirt that said something about like my favorite boys, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And I was like, because it was so cute. It was the cutest shirt. I really wanted to get it for her. I did not. And I never saw her after that. So.
Okay, it's Matthew 18, 21 to 35. This is actual, like, real time. I do have a hint of dyslexia given down.
Do you have a hint of dyslexia?
Yes.
Do you really?
Yes.
Were you tested for it?
No. Like, all my teachers since grade 2 to 4 or 2 to 5 asked mom and dad to test me, and each time they said no. And I asked mom why, and she said because we didn't want you thinking that you were stupid. And I was like, I would rather know, so I wouldn't be struggling and thinking I was stupid. Anyways,
you know what? If it's hereditary, I think we're all dyslexic.
It is hereditary.
Because, yeah, I struggle. Like, people, they'll be like, okay, who wants to read something? And I'm like, I like talking. Sure, I'll read. And then it'll be like the other clip of me earlier. This is the eye of the lamp of the body. This eye. The eye.
No, I'll talk. Like, if they call me, I'll, like, talk and explain, but I will not.
But, like, reading something word for word
is hard.
I had this one teacher, not professor, just teacher, Mr. Nick Mixon, and he was like, at the end of the school year, you're going to have to go ahead and present. And I'm like, done. No problem. Mm-hmm. Fine. And then he was like, and you're going to have to give me the paper that you're presenting on, and you better go word for word or else you're not getting 100. I'm like, literally so unfair. I understand that there are people who do better with the paper, and they're like, okay, I can read this, I have this to go off of. For me, I'm like, cool, here's my entire paper. All it is 5 bullet points. I know what I'm saying. So, yeah, because I struggle with reading word for word off of the paper.
My theater final, it was a, like, presentation on, like, different eras, and I chose, like, a common era where, not Wolverine.
Oh, Hugh Jackman?
Yes, Hugh Jackman. I chose the era that Hugh Jackman was in, and I chose one of the movies that he was in. And the presentation, it started off so good and so strong, and I was talking about it. And then by the end, it was like just a huge rant of how much I love him and how cute he is. And I was like, gosh.
That's why you need the outline with the bullet points.
I had the outline. It was just, it was like horrible.
Your love for Hugh Jackman just overcame.
I had the outline. I put it on the back of the poster so I could look at it. Yeah. But she made me hold it like on my body for the whole class, and I was like,
yikes! Oh no.
Anyways,
That's horrible, but I love it.
Okay, so this is an example of grace, pretty much. This is an example, yeah. As Peter's asking how many times should I forgive this person, and I think in the back of his head he was like, please let me like pop up on this person.
It would be like
And
2
just
times.
no. Yeah, he was like
He said-
7 times,
Yeah.
and just like
Up
nah.
to 7 and just more.
Okay. This is how my heavenly Father will treat you unless you forgive your brother or sister from your heart. From your heart. That is a big deal. That is
Yeah.
something I struggle with, is forgiveness too.
Really?
Yeah. But it gets easier whenever you start praying for the person you need to forgive. And not like praying like, I wish they would be like less stupid, or like guide them, God, because they're clearly on the road to hell. Like praying good things on them, being like, bless their family, or like grow them in their faith, or make them the man that you want them to be, or the woman that you want them to be, or like put people around them that will show them Jesus. And it like really helps a lot with forgiveness and how you interact with people and your heart. But yeah, that was that's an example of like grace, is whenever God gives you something that you didn't deserve. Like he clearly owed him a lot, but the guy over everything was like, no, it's okay. And then whenever he had the opportunity to forgive someone else, he's like, no, you owe me. Like, give me what I deserve. And that's something that's like a heart problem, and you can clearly tell. And it's so often in today's society, we're like, oh, give me what I deserve. And it's a real doozy, because we will like preach. We'll preach all this stuff, and we'll preach forgiveness, and we'll preach like grace, and we're talking about how good God is, but whenever it comes to us being good to people, we don't model that. And it's something that gets a lot of non-Christians away from the faith, because they're like, you don't even walk how you like, you don't walk how you talk, pretty much. You gotta walk the talk.
As Migos said.
Walk it
Walk
like I
like
talk
talk
it.
it.
Walk it
Like I tug it.
But yeah, I love that song. I don't know why. But yeah, I think it's the phone rings. Walk it. But whenever they're talking about, like in my devotional, it was talking about whenever you understand grace, you're not going to want to abuse it, because abusing God's grace, what you do on earth is like a reflection of what you're gonna get in heaven. And like that's why you have to, it's almost like storing up your treasures in heaven, like along with your verse.
Yeah.
And Jesus does talk about this, because everything that you get on earth, everything that you make here, like I'm pretty sure I won't have my whole awesome, amazing wardrobe in heaven. I'll get new clothes, okay? We're also not gonna have these like same like bodies.
Yeah, you're not gonna have your body.
I might not even have this hair. If we're all bald in heaven, oh please, wait, can we all be bald in heaven? Wait, if we're all bald in heaven, it's gonna be just, it's like, I don't know. It would be so great. Hold on.
No, you just look like La Babushka.
I
My
love
babushka.
What was I even saying?
If we were bald in heaven.
No, I was talking about grace. Oh no, there's people that remember this.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. There's been an alarm going off for like the past like 3 days.
Ooh.
So maybe they're finally getting around to their calls.
But I personally had thought about grace for a while, because like all yesterday I was thinking about it, because I realized that people are scared to preach it because of people like me. Like I abuse grace sometimes. I'll be the first to say it, because even if y'all don't want to say it, yeah, even if y'all don't want to say it, I abuse grace a lot. I'm like, okay, well, other people
I don't
do it.
even realize it until after I'm like,
yeah.
oh God, I'm so sorry.
No, the thing is, I realized it right in my church. Okay, so I prayed, and I was like, God, I know that I'm made in you, and I know I'm filled with your Holy Spirit, and I'm letting you have control. So the things that you don't want me to do, like, tell me. And I was like, I don't know how you're gonna tell me. Like, I don't know if you're gonna, show me a sign out the window or like do something, but like tell me. And for me, like, I literally get these cold chills before I do something I know I'm not supposed to do. And it's like,
and then you just keep doing it?
Yeah, I actually do sometimes. It's really bad. Like, for example, it's like, this is a small example, but it's like listening to secular music that has like really bad words, or that praises, bad things such as like drugs, or like sex or like, you know, just these random things that everybody listens to, everybody does, but like, you know,
you shouldn't.
you have to
but
be
you do.
different, you know. And I don't ever feel bad about it until like, oh, what if somebody hears this? What if somebody sees this? You know, and I'm like, oh, well, that's not a good model on God. And it's like, it's never like me, because I'm like, oh yeah, that would be an okay model on me because I'm a person in the world and everybody does this. But the person that I represent is God, and I don't want to model my dad that way, you know? So like, God to not represent. And the more that I thought about this, I was like, why am I doing this? And I was like, oh, well, it's probably because I know that God's going to forgive me, and I know I can say, I'm sorry, like, I will change this time. And even if I do mean it, I, like, will still, like, just be like, next time, you know? And it's the most frustrating thing, because it's like whenever you get away from the word, whenever you get away from the people who are growing you and planting you, it's harder to stay, like, obedient almost. And it's not because you don't want to, it's just because your environment has changed.
And that's the huge thing, is like changing your environment. And like, if you can't change your immediate environment, to change like the people at least that you're around, or the content that you consume, because that makes the biggest difference, like the biggest difference in the world. Or like even small habits that you can do to change. Like I remember
like, stop shaking your butt on the internet.
We're not gonna change everything, no.
Small change.
Yeah, I could never shake my butt on the internet, because there is not much to shake. It sounds like, give me your water bottle. Sounds like, you know that wavy paper, aluminum.
I can testify to that.
Fair. Yeah.
We're opposites.
Yeah. It's fine. Anyway,
it's okay.
But what's it called? So yeah, like content you consume and stuff like that. Like, for me, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna listen to KSBJ, a local radio station that's like Christian. And I was like, I'm just gonna listen to KSBJ and, you know, like be consumed with that, and not really listen to secular music, because I don't really listen to music in my spare time anyway. Like I'll listen to like podcasts, and also if I'm like ever trying to like better myself in business or anything like that. I don't know why I'm burping. I will listen to like business podcasts, like y'all heard me talk on the other one, like School of Greatness with the Lewis Howes, and like different things like that. Or like if I want to learn about something, I'm going to like put myself into that environment. So if you're looking to get out of something as well, look at what you're surrounding yourself with, and then remove accordingly.
Just always feed yourself good things. And like also getting away from social media is a huge thing. Like you go online, and even like I know TikTok is like such a big thing, and like what you like determines your For You page, but sometimes they throw like a little random thing in there, and you're
They
like,
really do.
what?
They really
like,
do.
What is this? Or like not looking at your Instagram DMs. I barely look at my Instagram DMs, maybe like once like every 2 weeks, because you know people do ask questions, and like if they ask a question I want to address it. But getting away from like social media helps a lot, because who you follow, you're going to follow.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyways, back to the story. The grace that is given by God, you should try to give to other people, because back to my verse, we all fall short. Okay, like, and I'm not saying you're going to forgive everyone like immediately and be like, you know what, you don't owe me anything, like you're good. But you should still try to like
a work in
replicate
progress.
it. Yeah. And the easiest way to give grace to someone and to forgive someone is by loving them first. And the easiest way to love them first is by knowing God's love, because once you understand God's love, you can love people, because He made people. And how are you going to love the creation if you don't know the Creator? Or if you don't understand the Creator. And also, if you're not in constant, in constant contact with the Creator, you're not going to understand the creation. Whenever I'm not in constant contact with God, I don't understand the things I do. Half the things I'm doing, I'm like, why? Like, I posted emo TikToks the other day. I don't even know why. Everybody came up to me asking me if I was unstable.
Because it's just like you laying in bed, and you're like, cut my life into pieces. And I'm like,
this is
what?
And
And it's like Chi-Chi. Suffocation completed.
so bad. No, they literally were showing people the chair. They were like, look, she's gone crazy. I was like, I have no idea. I don't even remember posting the second one, but no, but it's really bad. Like, whenever I get far from the creator, also, I will find myself, like, seeking validation, whether that's from, like, my friends or from people I don't even know. I'm like, oh, maybe, like, do you like this post? Do you like my outfit? Or, like, I'll post my outfit on my private story, and I'm like, how many people are going to say it's cute? How many people? One time
I feel like anytime that you post things, hey, do you want to join?
We're probably
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
bye.
where are y'all headed?
main event.
Oh my
that's
gosh,
right,
somebody
she's
I know
going
is there right
bowling.
now. Somebody I know is there right now. What?
Doing what?
I don't know. Probably.
Who is it?
I think he's playing pool. His name is Garrett Reagan.
How funny would that be if y'all were going to see Garrett Reagan?
Sounds like a lead singer of a band.
He's a baseball boy.
Oh.
Yeah, that actually makes sense.
Or
It
a
also
sports
sounds.
player.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hi, Max.
MLB star.
LB star Garrett
He's
Reagan.
scared.
There you go. See.
No, yeah, that actually is a good name though. He dated one of my friends, and yeah.
Yeah. We're going there for some coworkers who are we're leaving.
Yeah, so he was telling me that. Well, y'all have fun.
I hope so. I sure as hell I'm not gonna bowl. I am too tired for that.
Yeah.
But if they pull me into laser tag, I can't say no.
Yeah, I know. Joey was
yeah.
talking about that as well. It's like laser tag is so much more fun than bowling.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
What are you doing, man?
He's just losing his legs and then trying to find his balance again.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, sorry.
I'm not Barons.
Give him Barons.
My bad.
Bye. Y'all have fun.
Bye.
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 You were talking, and you said I was wearing a pink dress.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I was like, she's fishing. She's fishing.
Let me just show you what this girl replied. I was literally in tears. Okay, hold on. Yeah.
Bye, love you.
Bye. It was July 27th. Hold on. Oh my gosh, y'all's Wi-Fi is so horrible.
You're not connected to our Wi-Fi.
Okay, so is this one? Is this picture? Guess
Yeah.
my favorite color. Ready?
Brown, like that mustache you're sporting.
It wasn't even that bad. I don't know why she's saying that. Hold on. But it also is a product of the people I'm around because one
Yeah.
of my close friends is almost addicted to male validation. She has a boyfriend, and he texts her maybe like 2 times a week. Okay,
Wait,
it's
wait.
really bad. And
Does this have? Oh, dang it! I was gonna say you can. Well, you can. We were also on Admirals, but this is just for Katie, so never
Yeah.
mind. Max.
what? What's happening?
He's licking his tail and then his asshole. It's disgusting. Disgusting. Anyway,
yeah.
talk about whatever.
Yeah, anyways, you can tell whenever your head's not in the right place, especially as a Christian, and especially whenever you get Christian friends and whenever you get to have people who know your heart, you can see straight through them. And I've given people permission almost to be like, get in my life, ask me how I'm doing, ask me how my walk with faith is, ask me all these questions because I need somebody to keep me in check because I can't always be keeping myself in check. It's just impossible. And so sometimes my Christian friends will text me and be like, how's your walk with Christ? And I'm like, I know you know. Like, there's no way. It's just so, I don't know. They have to explain everything and we have to have a whole prayer session. It's like, I don't know. It's really cool though because I appreciate these friends. Anyways, what were we talking about in the
Also,
original?
there's a difference between people who are genuinely curious and people who just kind of want to see you fall.
Yeah, that's true. Everything, every lesson I could ever preach on or give, I will always connect it back to love because that is something that's such a strong thing for me. Love is everything to me. I could talk about love for hours because I love love, and I think this world's love is so just difficult because people make it difficult. People make it seem like if you don't sexualize yourself for another person, you will not be loved. And that's something that I had a problem with because in 8th grade, I was broken up with for not being sexual with somebody that I was dating in 8th grade. I don't even know. And it confused me, and it made me think that, you know, you have to be sexual in a relationship for this person to love you. And I feel like that's such a bad thought, especially because I was 13. And I was 13 being told this. And others who are younger than me, looking at social media all the time, are being told this, even if they don't realize they're being like told this, and it just makes me so mad. So I'll relate everything back to love and the source of love.
Love is the greatest commandment that we're given.
Yes.
Come on. Yeah.
Yay!
Hello, my sweet boy. Oh my goodness.
This is Max.
Mm.
But yeah, the way I viewed love
He's a little naked on his booty, don't mind.
Yeah, don't mind that. The way I viewed love, or the way I was told this is how you gain love, really like messed up my perspective on everything. And that's why I like talking about love. Not because I like want, I don't know, not because I like want a boyfriend or anything. It's just because I think it's important for like people to know like what real love is, and not this world's version.
And real love is unconditional. It's not going to be like if, you know, like, oh, well, I'm only going to love you if you do these things.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I think that's something that I struggle with as well. Thank you for the kisses.
Like feeling you like you have to check off boxes for people.
Yeah, so one thing that I think is good and bad is the love language test. Where it's like, what's your love language? Because for me, my highest one is quality time. And then under that, it's words of affirmation. So, like, for me, I feel like if you don't spend time with me, I'm just like, you don't love me. You don't care about me.
Mine is physical touch.
And everyone's is...
Or physical touch and quality time. Sorry.
Yeah. And, like, everyone's is always, like, just so different. Oh, my goodness. He's going to crawl into your lap and sheep.
No,
He's going to lick his
butt.
asshole. Go ahead now. Lay down. Lay down on your auntie's lap. Go ahead. Do it. But yeah, so it's something that's like, you know, like if you don't share my love language, then I'm not going to feel loved. But it shouldn't be like that. It should be like, okay, like I understand that we do have different ways of love, and that maybe it's not always what?
I don't know.
It's not always shown in the way that I want.
Oh yeah.
Kind of thing, you know. But it's still there, and that's something that you have to understand, and something that you can't be like, well, this person isn't treating me,
like
isn't treating me the way I wanted to be treated, so I don't love them because they aren't showing love to me.
Yeah.
Not the same. Not the same.
We love because he loved us first, and
Yes.
it says that in the Bible. And if you really love somebody, you will not stop loving them, even if they hurt you. I haven't stopped loving people who hurt me.
That is something that I do struggle with.
Yeah.
Because what do you mean? Yeah.
I know you do.
Okay. Anyway, it's something that I struggle with because I'm like, okay, I have a very short tolerance, and I'm also like, you know what? It's like I can only give you like
So much.
yeah, I can only give you so much. If you mess up once, clearly it's a pattern. Like,
That's literally her thing. No, I'm not even joking.
so you're out of my life. And yeah, so anyway, at Bible study the last week, I did say I have a prayer request, and then I told you about this, right?
No.
Yeah, I said, oh my goodness, look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, he's so cute. I said, I do have a prayer request, and then they said, sure, what is it? And I said, I don't want to say it. It's if y'all could pray for compassion for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, oh, compassion? And I was like, yeah, compassion. and I was like, I don't want it. I don't want it at all. I don't want to be tested. No, thank you. No, I don't want to be tested. But please pray for me. And I know I'm going to be tested, and it's whatever, you know? And what's it called? Debbie, one of the group leaders, she's like, I don't know, 60, whatever. But she's like an old white lady, so like she looks like a little wrinkly lady. She looks like Miss Anne,
Aww.
but like with a tad more elasticity, you know?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean, aw? That lady looks like an old decrepit hag. And she was racist.
Alyssa.
Do you not remember her?
I do, but you don't have to be mean.
No, that wasn't mean.
That was mean.
Hmm.
That was rude.
She was racist.
Okay, that doesn't mean you have to be rude to her.
Well, she's still rude.
That doesn't mean you have to be rude.
Anyway. So what's it called? I was like, yeah, so like this happened earlier today. And so, yeah, I don't know, maybe I think some compassion would have probably been the better answer to that situation. And then,
Your road rage.
and Debbie was like, she was like, yeah, the time is now. I literally looked at her and I wanted to be like, shut the fuck up, Debbie. Like, I am so tired of you and your ugly kids and your little grandkid running around and y'all collecting things from different countries because you're exotic.
This is proof that
I did
we
not
created
say
for
that,
her.
which was a big step. Instead, I looked at her and I said, ha ha. And I turned back to the front.
Oh my god.
So, yeah.
You should have been a cheerleader. That would help with everything.
What do you mean?
Like, whenever people say something rude or passive aggressive, you're just like, oh. You like just don't even show. You're like, because it's hard, you know. Everyone's watching all the time. What do you want, Garrett Reagan? Move this a little. I like this.
Do you want to help me set up my bedroom and we can talk more? Because
Sure.
my sheets are done.
Sure, we can do that.
So good.
Love isn't one-sided, but I do think there is a certain point. So, like, for example, I once upon a time had liked this guy.
Gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Yeah, and this guy, he was very consistent with me in the beginning, and he was very, like, I don't know, he was just always there, and he was always nice, and he was sweet, and he would do what he said when he said it, and I was like, this is great. And he was a Christian, and he worked out, and, you know, like, I like all these things, and I was like, wow, that's cool. And, like, also, you know, working out isn't a
Sometimes they just
requirement.
do it for show.
Yeah, and then he just started getting less and less consistent. And I remember whenever he was like, oh, you don't compliment me. And I was like, oh, my bad. Like, I'm just not used to complimenting people because, well, I'm used to complimenting girls. I just feel like
How
if
is
I
one of your
compliment
things
boys, it's like
Words of
bad.
affirmation and you don't even
It's
compliment.
not word of affirmation.
Oh, I thought you said it
Mine
was.
is physical touch and quality time.
Oh, yeah, that was
I'm
mine.
so uncomfortable whenever I have to compliment someone.
I
Especially
love
a boy.
complimenting people.
Especially in front of people. If I'm
I will
like,
compliment anybody at any time of day, regardless of gender. And that's just because that's who I am.
it's easier for me to talk to girls. I don't know. I was like, oh, okay. So I tried to compliment him more. And you know what? That was the point of the story. Anyways, he just kept getting less and less consistent. And I was like, I'm confronting you because I...
Hold on, I'm gonna shift
Feel-
this down. Keep talking. I'm gonna shift it down so that we can get Max in.
Okay. I was like, because I feel like this is not how you were in the beginning. And this is also not how I want to be treated. This is not how I want to feel. I don't want to feel like I'm not getting enough attention, or like I don't want to feel like I'm being ignored because, you know, I don't know, XYZ. And he would always like, I don't know, he would always make me feel very like I was a task almost, you know. And I was like, yeah. And so I talked to him about it, and he kind of like brushed it off, where he was like, okay, like I'm dealing with a lot, I'll try. And he didn't. And so I was like, oh, well, an apology is nothing without actions.
Yeah.
So I will not be, you know, talking to you anymore. And I hope you can understand. But I love you, and I am praying for you, and I forgive you because I'm not perfect. You know, like if it was me in that situation.
You handle these things a lot more gracefully than I could.
No, I cried for months.
See, for me, I won't cry for months.
No.
I'll be like, hey, cool, go fuck yourself. Thanks.
I cried for months and I made petty TikToks. But
Which TikToks?
no, like literally, okay, so the great thing about having friends that are Christian is that they check you. And I didn't even know these TikToks were like petty until one of my friends was like, your TikTok is just like a roast page of how much like you hate like this
Wait,
one
was
person.
that Rachel Stratton?
No.
No. Oh.
I don't know who this
She had the
is.
same pose as her. I love Rachel Stratton.
But anyways, she was like, your TikTok is like kind of like a roast page. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, like you just post really shady things and it's funny. And I'm like, y'all notice that? Like, it was so embarrassing. And it's because I was hurting and I hadn't dealt with it in the ways I should have. So, like, hurt people. And, like, I was being very shady and I was being very, like, oh, whenever he says he's Christian but he doesn't, XYZ or something. Also, I've been told by somebody who said they were Christian that, oh, I didn't want to go to church because it messes up my gym time. Which scared me. I was like, okay, bud.
You know what you should do? Well, actually, no, because it would be another shady one. But, like, the thing where it's like, can I get you anything else to eat? It's like, yeah, a to-go box. I'm uncomfortable.
Yes, I would.
Yeah, that with, like, whenever they say they can't go to church because it messes up their gym time.
Yeah,
I'm uncomfortable, but don't post it even though it would be funny.
Yeah, but, I don't know. It was clear that I was, like, you know, still hurting over the situation and not grieving about it right. And so I needed to change that. And so what I started doing, first of all, I prayed for him in all the ways that, like, I would before. So I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, God, he hurt me. Like, just heal me, God, heal me, God, heal me. I would be like, God, like, move in his heart, you know, like, transform him to the man that, like, I know he can be and that he has been. And, like, I don't know, like, bring people into his life that can help him.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
Thank you. And I stopped posting TikToks about it. I stopped posting TikToks having to do with anything about a boy and girl relationship, just because I was like, I don't want it, you know, like, I don't want that in the forefront of my mind. Oh my gosh, are you okay? I don't want that in the forefront of my mind. And I don't also want people to think that I'm always, like, obsessed with relationships, because I'm scared of them sometimes.
Fair.
But
see, I think a huge thing in relationships is, oh my gosh, I was looking at my Snapchat memories last night. So it's from today, a year ago, and there's this one, and I was like, yeah, like, so and so didn't care to, like, meet my family. And I was like, okay, well, I'm having my siblings over. And he said, you know who I'm talking about. And he said, what, I don't have a say in this? And I said, no, fuck you. They're my family, so they're coming over.
wait, who?
Yeah.
He said that?
Yeah. And so I was like, anyway, so I'm at my parents' house right now to go pick them up.
What?
I sent that to Aaron.
Then another thing that helped was, as I moved along, I did end up blocking him. And I think it's healthy. You know, I think it's healthy to know
I don't
your
block people,
limits.
I just unfollow them.
I blocked him for reasons. First of all, whenever we were also, you know, talking or whatever, he would always comment on other girls' posts, being like, hey, or like, cutie, or bae, or say something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I brought it up to him and said it bothered me, he'd be like, oh, well, they're famous, it's not like they're gonna see it. And I was like, okay. And it just always bothered me, and he didn't, like, take my feelings into account, which kind of bothered me more than the fact that he was commenting. And as I would always compare myself to all these girls, and then whenever I got away from him...
real quick, that's another thing that I feel is I don't understand is comparison. Because there's a quote that I saw a while back, and it was like, comparison is the thief of joy. And I was like, yeah, absolutely it is. And I was like, cool. So I'm so glad that people really aren't comparing themselves to other people. No.
That is not how, that is not.
Because, like, for me, I'm very much like, hey, if I like what you're doing, I'm going to let you know. If I think you're really cool, I'm going to let you know. But I'm not going to compare my success to your success, because I don't know what you had to do to get there. But I'll be inspired by you. Mm-hmm. I'll, you know, be like, wow, this person is so cool. But, like, comparison is never something that, like, crosses my mind.
That is a
until
good thing.
Other people bring it up.
Yeah. So that's a good way to think about it. But I unfollowed him because I was like, I don't want to see those comments. I don't want to compare myself. I know who I am in God, and I just need to focus on that. So I unfollowed him. And then when I decided to block him, it was because he was commenting on my post, and he was like, bruh. And I was like, can you not?
What?
So I decided to block him because I was like, this is annoying, you know? And he was still like, I don't know, it's just different ways of reaching out. And I know, I get it, because I did.
Was it Ashton?
No. But yeah, that's what I did, and my life had gotten more clear for me. Like, I wasn't sad all the time. I was like, I was happier because I knew that I didn't have to like wake up every day, wait for somebody to text back 2 hours while he was like doing, I don't know, whatever he was doing. It was just bad. And also, he didn't love his family. Like, well, he loved his family, he didn't like them though. And that's a huge thing for me. Like, love your family and like them. I love and like my family. So, yeah, I don't know, that's a huge thing for me too. But I do pray for his dad a lot because I like his dad, even though I never met him. Okay, what were we talking about before this? I feel like we were talking about
What
something.
time is this?
8:39.
I do need to get ready.
For what?
I'm going out with Jude and his family tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, meeting the fam.
You've never compared yourself to somebody. This is the question.
Growing up, here's a backstory. So growing up, Mom would always be like to Thomas or whatever, she'd be like, you know, like, oh, listen, Giovanni made good grades, why can't you be like them? Or like she would tell me like, you know, like, oh, well, these kids are well behaved, why can't you be like them? And I just kind of realized like early on from a stage that I was like, I can't be like them because I'm not them. So if I'm not them, why would I try to be them or try to be like them if I'm my own person? So it doesn't make sense that you would compare me to somebody that I am just completely not. And so I just kind of decided early on, like, I don't need to waste my time with like, you know, like, oh, why can't I be like this person? I can't be like that person because I'm not that person.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
Yeah, you're just honest.
So, yeah, it's like if I think a person is like really cool or they're doing better at me than something, I don't like, you know, like, ugh, I can't believe. No, I'm like, I'm not gonna compare in jealousy, I guess. You know, I'm gonna be like, wow, this is really great what they're doing. I'm inspired by that. And I'm gonna let them know, you know, or like, I'm gonna be like, hey, you know, I'll just let them know, really. Like, just be like, hey, I think what you're doing is amazing, you know? But I don't compare in jealousy. And I don't even really compare in success either, like I said. So, I don't know. I don't compare myself to people. And I don't think it's healthy to either, so.
It's not.
Yeah.
I think it's something I struggled with for a long time. I think it also roots back to one of my first relationships. Whenever that guy broke up with me and then he told 2 of my closest friends that he was in love with them the same day.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was very
See,
confusing for me.
Another thing on comparison is because we're sisters. We look kind of similar. And people will say that. And I was actually telling my friend Courtney about this. Courtney, not Kaylin. About this earlier today. Where like, because like, you were a chunky kid. And so growing up, I was like, okay, I'm the shortest, or I'm the youngest, or I'm the oldest, so I'm going to be the shortest. And I don't know how tall she's gonna get, but like I don't want kids to like make fun of her for her height or anything like that. So like that's why growing up I would always be like, you're gonna be so tall and so pretty, you're gonna be like model height. Just in case any kids ever like tried to make fun of you for anything, you could be like, yeah, well, I'm gonna be model height. You know, like y'all can go fuck yourselves.
Oh, that's
So I would always try to like lift you up in like small things like that and like consistently tell you those things so that like anything that like people would try to use against you for being different, that like you would be like, yeah, well, it's actually really cool, you know? So yeah, so things like that. But then like what really pissed me off was like the field day. And Francois. Anyway, Francois, when you're divorced, hit me up. I actually don't know anything about his wife.
And next cut.
But
His wife. I haven't seen her.
But what's it called? So yeah, whenever you were telling me that like the kids were telling you different things, and I was like, that's super fucked up.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was like, no, like you're so pretty and like you're your own person as well. Like we may be sisters and we may look similar, but we're completely different people. Like there's no need for them to just be assholes like that. But also like for you to even compare yourself to me. Because we're not the same person. And we're not going to be.
Yeah.
We're not even going to look the total same. You know?
Yeah. We're going to change and grow. And also, like, our facial structures, I think they are different. Like, I have more of, like, an oval, and you have more of, like, a rounded square, too. And our hair is different. Our height's different. Like, I see, like, a lot of differences. But I still think we're both beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, we are definitely beautiful. I was telling Courtney, I was like, yeah, so I'm just... I think my thing is like I'm not allowed to have ugly siblings. Like God did not let me have any ugly siblings. So if they're ever like down on themselves, I'm like, no.
Hold on.
Yeah.
No, but I think like it's just always been a thing for me, and also I think cheer has a lot to do with it because cheer can be toxic. It can, there comes a time in every young girl's life as a cheerleader where you become a little, chunky. It's a part of life, okay? And my siblings actually did make fun of me for being fat.
Yeah.
They
I remember
did.
at one time she said, you can call me fat lard."
My god!
And we're in the kitchen.
It's
and
just because I'm too
and I
used
said,
to that.
wait, did you say fat lard or fat lord? And she said, fat lard. And I said, okay, fat lard. And I went into the living room and I was like, Jermaine Thomas, Natalie just said that we could call her fat lard. And then they're like, are you kidding me? I was like,
not what I remember.
Not kidding you. And you were in the kitchen. I remember this. You were in the kitchen whenever you told me to call you fat lard. So that's why we called you fat lard.
No.
But we'd also call you Dora because you loved Dora.
Yeah, true. True. It's also because of that haircut.
Yeah, like twice.
I remember whenever I was like, I asked Thomas about like why he would always make fun of me for like, my weight. And he said something along I don't remember exactly, but he said something along the lines of like trying to tell me the truth or something like that. I remember that really like got to me because I was always so like self-conscious about myself. But I was like, I always had my own style. I was always like interested in things, and people were always like attracted to me because I had my own style and I was like confident in things I wore, but I was still like, unconfident in my body. And I like, so like there's also like that. And then in cheer, whenever you get a little chunkier, they're like, okay, you can't be a flyer, like you are fat, like, and they would say things like, oh, I can see your lunch, or like, oh, what did you eat before this? Why are you eating fast food? That's not good for you. Like, ever heard of salad? Like, they would say like really snappy things, and I don't think they realize like, young kids kind of take that a little wrong. But I feel like as the years gone by, it's getting a little better because, we are seeing more diversity in the cheer world. But especially like just growing up in cheer is always harder because you would, see all these things happen, and then people, like, I feel like a lot of people haven't spoken out about like the long-term effects until like a couple years ago, whenever this one cheerleader committed suicide, and it was very serious. And then they were telling us about all the things, and they were saying like, oh, if anything ever happens, you can talk to us. And then lots of other cheerleaders came up, and they were talking about like having eating disorders or having depression from cheer, and it was like very bad. But moral of the story is they compare you to a lot of other girls. They compare your body, and dancers have to go through this too. I know a lot of ballerinas who had to go to like jazz or something because their muscles got too big, which is literally idiotic. Like, if my muscles get huge, I'm like so proud of that.
Honestly, same.
I know. But it's just like always been a thing for me, and especially whenever I remember 5th grade. I am Hispanic, okay? I grow hair. And in 5th grade, this girl made fun of me for having a mustache.
That was something I was kind of self-conscious about, was my arm hair. I remember I asked Mom, I was like, how did you deal with your arm hair? And she was like, I bleached it. And I was like, I'm not about to change myself for these assholes.
Bleach?
I'm not going to bleach it. So I was like, I'm just going to, I was like, bleach, and like she would like dye it blonde.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, yeah, I'm not about to change anything like that dramatically about myself. I'm just going to live with it. And if I have hairy arms, I have hairy arms. And then eventually like the arm hair and everything got thinner. And
I like only shaved my arms twice, I think. But yeah, I don't know, it kind of got better. I remember whenever someone pointed it out, it was like in 9th grade, so like the last time anyone's ever pointed it out. And this guy, he was like, your arms are really hairy. And I looked at him and was like, yeah. And like I kept working, and like I don't think he expected that answer. He was just like, oh, okay.
See, also my thing is like, growing up and being compared to other people, you just kind of learn like, other people comparing you isn't a reflection of yourself, it's a reflection of themselves. And the way other people treat you is always a reflection of themselves, but also you teach people how to treat you. And so it's like, if you let those things actually affect you, then it'll affect you. But if you're like, okay, it's whatever, then it's whatever.
Also,
it's perception.
I did go through bullying very heavily in in middle school, very heavily by this one kid, and it was so embarrassing. I remember one of the worst times is whenever he got like his friends, you know, and so I had a crush on this guy, and I liked him so much, okay? And one day out of the blue, he DM'd me, and he's like, hey. And I was like, what the heck? And I knew he had a girlfriend, and I sent it to his girlfriend. I was like, your boyfriend's texting me. Like, I don't want to be, like, weird, you know? And I hope you know this. And then she was like, we broke up. And I was like,
I remember this.
yeah. And so he basically told me he liked me. And I said, I like you too. Because obviously everybody knew I liked him. And then the next day at school, it wasn't him. It was his friend. And I was so upset. Or I wasn't even, like, I was just like...
I'm kind of glad I didn't grow up with social media like that.
Yeah.
Until, like, high school.
I was just, like, sad. And then he came up to me and he was like, oh, like, that wasn't me. That was my friend. I'm sorry. And I was like, why would you let your friend have your account? Like, that's, like, messed up. And then he was like, I thought you would know it was a prank. And I was like, why would I know it was a prank? Like, I just got Instagram in 7th grade, and this happened in 7th grade too. And then he was like, I thought you would know it was a prank. And I was like, why would I know it was a prank? And he was like, I'm dating Ryan. Like, why would I like you? And I was like, okay. It was super, like, embarrassing and hurtful. And I was like, yeah, you're dating her, so why would you like me? And she was the complete opposite of me. She was like white, blonde, flat, straight hair, pin straight, short. She was like 5'2", 5'3". Like, it was just like the complete opposite. And so I was like, dang, like, I'm never going to have anybody like, because I'm not her. Which is so weird because she's dating someone who looks like Thomas now. And it's like very, and I'm like, thank you, God. But,
oh, that's so weird.
But yeah.
It was weird hearing girls be like, your brother's cute. About,
Ooh.
like, Giovanni, because Giovanni and I are similar age, so, like, we would always be together for things.
Only like one person told me that, so.
That Giovanni's cute or Thomas is cute?
Only one person told me that Thomas is cute. I've had 2 people tell me that Giovanni is cute, and they were both gay, so. Anyways.
Well, he's got options.
Right? Right.
Anyway, we do have to go. But thank y'all so much for chatting with us.
I don't know what we're going to get out of this because I feel like we went very around everything.
No, that's pretty much what this podcast is. It's not a podcast.
True. Oh, there's also this one time whenever we were in class and the teacher was like playing that video, the Michael Jackson video, and in the beginning it was like wherever that girl's running from Michael Jackson because he's turning into like a wolf.
Oh, yeah, Thriller.
That was Mr. Alvarez's class, and he sat me right next to Cade because he knew the situation too. And then he sat, Christopher behind us, and Mr. Alvarez was like, "That's Cade running from Natalie's love," and everyone like laughed, and I was like, "This is so embarrassing. This is so embarrassing."
Some teachers need to stop. Anyway, we're gonna go. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we will see y'all later.
Bye.
2 girls and a dog?
Bye.
He doesn't put down his paw. Bye.
Bye.